Chapter 3. Trust Through Authority. One of the core concepts and principles to SEO is that of authority. What is authority? How is it built? And who gets to define what authority really means? Well, let's think about the word itself first. What does it mean to have authority? And who can actually command it? If we think about the business world, someone like the president or chief executive officer of a company would wield authority. They're in a position of power because they worked to get to that level. They either started the business or worked their way up over time. The same concept applies in the entertainment world. Who has commanding authority there? Well, producers and directors for one, but also well-known actors. How did they get there? Through hard work and dedication. Didn't happen overnight. We also see this concept in sports. Sports stars have authority in their given profession. From basketball to football, soccer, baseball, and hockey, no matter what sport we talk about, the players are the authorities there. They've built up their skills over years and years of practice and hard work. So, authority is something that's built up over time, right? Well, yes, exactly. And that means that if your website is brand new, you're going to be lacking authority. So why is this important? Well, Google won't trust you if you lack authority. All of this boils down to trust. Let's think back to the original example again of the new business that goes to a bank for a loan. The bank officer asks for some business credentials, such as past year's tax returns or income statements, but there are none to produce because it's a new business. How likely is that new business to get a loan? Not likely at all, unless, of course, there's a personal guarantee from a director, principal, or officer. In that case, sure, the bank would likely extend a loan depending on the creditworthiness of the individual making the personal guarantee. However, in the SEO world, it doesn't work quite as simply as that. Authority is something that's built up over time, and not something that happens overnight. This is also why websites that have been around for a long time, i.e. 3+ years, always rank higher on Google's SERPs. Websites that have been around for a long time and have steadily built up authority by creating meaningful content and getting meaningful links from other trusted sites on the web will always appear higher up on the SERPs. In a way, Google created this all-important limiting factor for a particular reason. It's not easy to climb up the SERPs any longer without authority. And it's impossible to build authority unless it's done so over time. So authority is something that's earned, not overnight, but steadily, over years. So where does that leave us? How are we supposed to do SEO when we lack authority? Well, that topic certainly warrants a discussion. But to summarize for now, authority is going to be built by leveraging existing authority sites and other niche websites to create high-value content that then links back to your own unique high-value content. Sound like a lot of work? Well, it is. No one said that SEO is going to be easy. Be prepared to dig your heels in and grind away. Understanding PageRank. In the early days, when Google was coming up with its algorithm to help index the web, it created something called PageRank. PageRank can be clearly defined by a formula that conveys a level of importance from 0 to 10 to any given page on the web. But what is PageRank exactly? How does the formula work? Simply put, it boils down to a computation that can index a site or particular web page by its likeliness to randomly appear in search. Its PageRank is a numerical representation of that formula. The formula for PageRank is a number generated by Google that tallies the value of a particular page in relation to all the other sites on the web. Now, this isn't the same thing as relevance. Relevance is more like the key to SEO, whereas PageRank is likened to the lock. A door can exist with a lock, but it can't be opened without SEO. Of course, the door itself in this analogy is likened to the site itself. Anyone can open a door, but not many people can open a locked door without a key. Another important note about PageRank is that each step up in the ladder is exponentially greater than the step before it. For example, moving from a page rank of 3 to a page rank of 4 might sound simple, but in fact it's monumentally difficult. Moving from 4 to 5 becomes even harder, and so on. Websites with a page rank of 10 are household names, such as Google, YouTube, and Facebook, while a page rank of 9 would be equivalent to a news site, such as CNN.com, and on down the list. This is an important concept to understand, as it helps to put perspective to the varying of sites out there and what page rank is attributed to them. As you can see in the following image depicted here of PageRank, done by Alliance Inc. way back in 2006, it helps to indicate the level of difficulty involved with moving up this so-called mountain that we call PageRank on the web. In the image, you'll understand the monumental task of going from 5 to 6, let alone moving from 9 to 10. Of course, PageRank doesn't paint the entire picture. PageRank is simply the formula that determines the importance of a page on the web. The key to SEO really lies in relevancy. But even if your content is highly relevant, without a high page rank, you can't expect great results. So we'll discuss just how to build up PageRank in order to have your content relevantly appear in front of the eyes of countless individuals that are looking for your content. There are specific techniques that you can implement, which I will show you in the pages of this book to increase your PageRank. Once your PageRank climbs, appearing relevant in Google's SERPs becomes far easier. But until that happens, you can expect to get marginal results at best. That is also why we'll leverage authority sites to drive traffic to your content even before your PageRank has climbed to a respectable number. So the goal, in order to increase PageRank, is to naturally increase the amount of quality links to your site, and I stress the word quality. Links coming from sites that have a high PageRank will outweigh those coming from low PageRank sites. But it doesn't end there. In order to build PageRank, you have to ensure you adhere to the following steps. These steps will help you to build authority over time and thus increase your PageRank. Keep in mind that the formula for PageRank relates to the number and quality of inbound links to your site. Your goal to increase your site's PageRank will involve the following steps. 1. Build content that has value. 2. Create authority site content. 3. Create links to your content. 4. Develop relationships with bloggers. 5. Engage in real conversations. Step 1. Build content that has value. The absolute first step in increasing your PageRank and authority on the web is to ensure that you create high-value content. Remember, there are millions upon millions of people vying for those coveted top spots on Google's SERPs. So what's going to set you apart? Whether your site is new or old, you have to focus on content. If you've heard the expression before, content is king, there's no truer statement. This has a great deal to do with Google's desire to make the web a more valuable resource. It's no longer okay to simply throw together content and expect it to rank high. Unless you're a serious authority out there in your niche, you're going to have to work incredibly hard to build up your PageRank by consistently writing excellent content. Even if your site has some authority, the content must still deliver enormous amounts of value. The fact remains that websites don't become authorities by simply posting subpar content. So focus on creating excellent, unique, well-written content that you spend the time to research. We'll get into strategies involving creating excellent, well-written content that provides an exceedingly high amount of value. Now keep in mind that I can't write this content for you, but I will give you pointers and best practices on how you can do this with less friction. When you set out to create this content, you'll also need to keep some principles in mind regarding on-site optimization, something we'll get into in the coming chapters and sections. For the time being, ensure that you do your research and brainstorm the topics that would best fit your niche. Keep in mind that you want to create focused content that targets your niche, And of course, that adds an exceedingly high amount of value to the world. You don't want to write a review for a laptop on a site focused on healthcare. You have to be niche specific with your content. This concept of being niche specific is important in the SEO industry. In fact, Google likes to see sites that focus on a specific niche and don't veer off course too much from their general focus. This also helps to build authority in your particular niche, while not trying to be a jack of all trades. So the best thing to do is to consider just what you want to write about by engaging in some productive brainstorming sessions. If you've never brainstormed before, now is the time to hone those skills, because what you write about is going to either help you or hinder you. In SEO, you have to be a jack of all trades, so to speak. Not only do you have to be technically savvy, but you also have to have skills in areas like design, social media, and writing. What you'll come to find out is that you'll have to engage in a wide range of practices to excel, so be prepared to learn what you don't yet understand. Set out on paper what you think would be the best possible things you could offer to help educate the general public in your niche or market. What can you teach them? Remember, this content has to have an exceedingly high amount of value. It can't simply be something you throw together. It must also always be error-free and not laced with grammatical or spelling problems. Google will penalize you for that. So if you don't want to be at more of a disadvantage than you already are when you start out, take the time to prepare something great. This is content that you'll publish on your personal site or the site of your clients. It can be a how-to article, a video tutorial, or some other piece of content that helps to answer a question or fill a need, but it has to be content of high value. I can't stress that point enough. Step 2. Create authority site content. Once you've created your excellent piece of content on your site, your next step will be to create a similar excellent piece of content on an authority site. Yes, I know, you have to do the work twice. But why is that? Well, as you now know, authority sites have a built-in trust with Google. Authority sites not only have a high page rank, but they also have one other unique feature. And that feature is that they allow you, me, and anyone else who wants to post content there freely and willingly without having to pay for it. That content will rank far quicker on Google's SERPs than any content that you post on your site. That's because Google already trusts these sites. They've been around for years and years, some of them for decades. You simply can't compete with that. Authority sites have also built up their authority over time with Google. They have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of links back to their various pages throughout the web. Google trusts these sites implicitly. So, your job now, once you've created some excellent content and posted it on your website, is to do it again. I spoke about this strategy in a book called SEO Strategies and Techniques, which is part of the SEO University series of books that I released in the not-so-distant past. If you're serious about advanced SEO strategies, I would suggest that you check it out. But regardless, I'll give you a breakdown of just how and why this strategy works to increase authority and page rank. If you'll recall, page rank is a formula that takes into account link popularity. In effect, page rank is the sum of the popularity of your links and the quality of those links. By quality, we mean how many more links out from that page are there where your link is coming from. Is that page linking to dozens of sites or just yours? Is it a do-follow link or a no-follow link? Sound confusing? Well, in tech speak, a do-follow link is a link that Google will follow if its spiders see it. A no-follow link is a link that Google will not follow. When there are many links to other sites on your page, it's good practice to add the no-follow attribute to them. Now, although page rank isn't the full formula for ranking, relevancy drives that factor home. Relevance is achieved through the 3 trust components, but relevant content is the key here to ensure you increase your page rank. Linking 2 relevant pieces of content is going to be critical. To illustrate this concept, I wanted to show you a graphical depiction of this and just how this works. You're going to get the greatest benefit from building out content in this manner than you will by using any other strategy, so pay careful attention. In the first step, we created high-value content on your website. In this second step, we're creating high-value content on an authority site. But which authority sites are we using? Well, we can use several, but just to name a few, let's try the following: Blogger.com, HubPages.net, Scribed.com, Slideshare.net, Tumblr.com, Vimeo.com, WordPress.com, YouTube.com. The page ranks of these websites are very high. Now, I know what you're thinking. You already have a Blogger or WordPress site set up on your custom domain. Why do you have to set up another one? Well, this is different. This isn't on your personal domain. This is on the WordPress or Blogger domain. Both of those sites have options where you can build out a blog with a subdomain, and that's the option that you should choose. For example, you could set up the following blogs at mygreatbusiness.wordpress.com or abcwidgets.blogger.com. What you want to do is ensure that you're using those domains from blogger.com or wordpress.com because they have high authority. When you post on those blogs, they also spread the links through the domain itself with new posts, and there are techniques to get more exposure in that way too. This authority-building strategy actually falls under the realm of content marketing because that's what you're doing in effect. You're marketing existing content on your website with similar content on an authority site. In the image, you'll see this graphically depicted. On the one side, we have the content on your domain. On the other side, we have the content on the authority domain. Both pieces of content are highly unique and create value, but the authority content has a single link to your content. Why is this so important? Well, it's that single solitary link that's going to build up your page rank and resultant authority. And that link must be through the keyword that you're targeting. Of course, we'll get into greater detail on this later, but I wanted to highlight this now early on as a summary. When high-value content on an authority site links to high-value content on your domain through a targeted keyword, your site's page rank increases. But this also increases the relevancy of your content for that keyword search. You're much more likely to be found now through that keyword for a search than you were before. Plus, your authority content will likely be found before content is found on your domain. So this is a win-win situation. Yes, it requires a lot of work, but it's very worthwhile. Step 3. Create links to your content. Since PageRank is all about authority building, and authority building is all about creating quality links back to your content, the next natural step is to create links to your content. And I'm not talking about the single solitary link that goes from the authority site content to your domain's content. Creating links to your content is all about finding quality sites that you can use to begin building up the link presence of your content. Today, this includes social media sites and other sites of notable presence. Of course, this must be done with decorum. So, how do we go about this? Well, this is rather straightforward and simple. What you want to do is to create as many quality links back to your content and to the authority content that's linking back to your content as you possibly can. Sharing the link through social media and other avenues on the web helps to achieve this goal. Keep in mind that you want to do this with tact. For example, on Facebook, it's best to set up a Facebook page for the content that you'll be sharing rather than sharing it personally. Now, although this will get you less exposure, it's about the quality of the link and also not enraging your friends and followers by constantly bombarding them with links that they might not care too much to see posted repeatedly on your personal page. With a Facebook page or Google Plus page, you can hone your content to your niche and build a fan base and followers in that arena and gear it towards building audience for your business. If you're an SEO professional, then this is something that you'll need to do for clients. Why is this so important? Well, those links are integral to the success of your content, the page rank of your site, and the probability that you'll be deemed relevant for those particular searches. Without spreading the links, there's no way you can increase your page rank. Now, one other quick concept that I want you to keep in mind here is that of the Google Sandbox. If you recall, the Google Sandbox is where Google places sites that are misbehaving. That virtual playground really is no fun at all. But the Google Sandbox also acts as a virtual filter for new websites. This is due to Google's lack of trust for the newbies. If your site is new, in that Google hasn't indexed your site more than 2 years ago, then the power of links going to your site will also be subdued. So what do we mean by the power of links? Well, each link holds a particular weight to it. Very important links from high PageRank websites are said to hold considerable link juice. Link juice is just another way of referring to the power of a link. When your site is new, in that Google only recently indexed it within the last 2 years, the link juice coming from links will be subdued because they will be filtered by Google's Sandbox. There's simply no way around this. The fact remains that you're just going to have to do the work, and over time your page rank and your authority will increase. This is also why you'll want to build authority site content. Your authority site content will get exposure far before content on your personal domain does. When you create links, you'll want to create links to both pieces of content by sharing them through as many avenues as you can. As long as the content is excellent, well written, and it adds value, then it's most likely something that people will share themselves. As other users share your content, your authority and your page rank will increase, but it won't happen overnight. This is one of the most frustrating components about SEO. It takes hard work applied over an extended period. No matter what anyone tells you, there is no magic bullet. Special software, stealthy apps, or other shortcuts aren't going to do it. You have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. It will take you time, but eventually you will succeed. In the meantime, you'll have your authority site content that will get you some relevant search traffic. If you understand the principles of marketing, then you can also use that authority site content to sell things to people, as long as it doesn't come across as a hard sell. What do I mean? Well, when you build out your authority site content, you're doing so from a perspective of adding value to the world. But that doesn't mean you can't finish off your piece of content with a statement to contact you or your company for similar services or products. For example, if you take the time to build out a lengthy post on how to write the perfect resume, including the best tips and practices, pitfalls, interview techniques, and so on, you could close that post with a soft sell on how they can hire a professional to write their resume for them. Of course, by a professional, you mean you. If you're selling resume writing services, that is, add your phone number and email address and some basic information on what a resume would cost them. For example, contact us to get a professional resume without all the hassle for as little as $99. Now, where are we supposed to post or share links to our content once it's written? What are the best sites to use in order to do this? Well, there are so many social media sites these days, but only a few important ones, and probably even less very important ones. Here's a list to use. 1. Twitter.com. PageRank 10. Twitter is a great place to share your content. If you have experience using Twitter, then that's great. If not, that's okay too. Set up a Twitter account and get to know the system and how it's used. Then, when you post content, ensure that you share the link of both content on your domain and content from the authority domain on Twitter. Use relevant hashtags in order to target that content to the right audience. 2. Facebook.com. PageRank 9. Of course, we all know the importance of Facebook and its role in today's increasingly social online environment. If you haven't already set up a Facebook page for your business, product, or service, now is the time to do so. You'll be sharing links here for your fans or friends, and you'll use this tool to help increase your site's page rank steadily over time. 3. Plus.google.com. PageRank 9. While Google Plus might not be at the forefront of everyone's mind, it's certainly a site with a high page rank where content should be shared and shared often. Like Facebook, you can set up a business page on Google Plus and use it to share your content. Again, you'll be sharing links to your personal site and to authority site content here. Although Google Plus holds no more importance in Google's algorithm just because it's a Google service, it does have a high page rank, so make sure you're using it. 4. LinkedIn.com, page rank 9. Another popular place to share your content is through LinkedIn. Most people already have a LinkedIn profile set up and have used it in the past, but this is another great avenue for sharing content. LinkedIn's high page rank and authority make it the perfect place to gain exposure for both your website and for your authority site content. Zing.com, page rank 9. Similar to LinkedIn, this is a social network geared toward business professionals around the world and has approximately 13 million users and climbing. This is another great avenue to help share your links in a diversified environment. Google likes to see diversity in link sharing and not to see the same sites linking to your content all the time. 6. Pinterest.com, page rank 8. Virtually everyone knows about Pinterest. This is a social media site focusing heavily on photos. So how do you share your content on Pinterest? Share the photo that you posted as your main image for the content on both the authority site and on your domain. Use relevant hashtags and a solid description to convey just what the image is about. It's not okay to just share the photo. You also have to have a unique description. 7. Tumblr.com, page rank 8. Tumblr, considered the foremost microblogging platform, is a great avenue for sharing anything from photos to videos and articles. Again, the use of hashtags is recommended to make your shared links discoverable. But always keep in mind that you should use decorum and tact when sharing those hashtags as well. Don't share irrelevant hashtags. You want to focus and hone them to only 5 or 6 very relevant ones. And ensure that your description is wordy enough, but not superfluous. There's certainly a fine art to sharing and not oversharing. 8. StumbleUpon.com, page rank 8. Quite possibly one of the most popular sites for sharing and stumbling upon content. This should certainly be in your arsenal of tools when building authority and page rank. Each time you stumble a page, you're adding another high page rank backlink to your site and building authority over time. Again, do this for all of your links, including both links on your site and authority site content that you create linking back to your site. 9. Reddit.com, page rank 8. This is a hugely popular site on the web, where all kinds of content is shared and disseminated. In fact, it's a great resource for taking your content viral if it's the right kind of content. However, on Reddit, you do have to ensure that you're careful that you're not oversharing. It's easy to get carried away. Find the right subboard where you can share your content, ensuring that it's useful, and come up with a great descriptive title for it. 10. MySpace.com, page rank 8. This social media site isn't dead. In fact, it still has an insanely popular page rank and has authority that dates way back before Facebook even came on the scene. Sharing links on MySpace for your content is a terrific way to generate some authority for content posted both on your site and the authority sites that you post to. Ensure that you use hashtags here again, and make sure your content is relevant to your audience. Step 4. Develop relationships with bloggers. Your next step in building authority has much to do with building relationships on the web. Yes, this matters, and if you can harness this very important step, then you can propel yourself forward far quicker. So why is that? Well, our goal here is to build up authority, correct? So what better way is there to build up authority than to get other authorities on the web to help you increase your own? Now, this is not as simple as it might sound, but does provide a huge leap forward. Remember, Google's trust is built through authority by getting other people that Google already trusts to link to you. That's why link building is a core component of the work involved with SEO. If you can get those trusted individuals to help you build your authority, then you're one step ahead of the game. But how does this work? Well, there are several approaches to this. First, I want to point out that this is no easy avenue. You have to drop relevant comments that add to the conversation and spread value before you can even consider approaching authority bloggers. This takes hard work. I am by no means saying that this will be easy, But eventually, as you comment and add value to the conversations there, authority bloggers will begin to take notice. Once they've taken notice, you could propose to guest blog for their sites. What is guest blogging exactly? This means that you essentially write an article that will be posted on their blog. That article will contain one link back to your blog. So why go through all that work for one link? Well, this is one of the best ways to increase page rank and authority quickly. Since Google already trusts the authority blogger's website, a link back to your site, especially if it's coming from relevant content on a niche-specific website, is huge. This approach should not be discounted whatsoever. Give this a shot, and you'll be amazed by the results. Not only will you increase in Google's overall SERPs, but you'll get the authority blogger's already engaged user base clicking on your link and checking out your site. If that user base likes what they see, they might even begin following you. But to get to that point is difficult. When you guest blog, it has to be an excellent and well-written article. It has to be error-free and perfect in the grammar department. It must also help to answer a question or fill a need to the best of your ability. Of course, there's no way that an authority blogger would even publish subpar posts. So what does this mean? You have to excel at writing content that not only sounds good, but is also keyword-driven. This is certainly an art in and of itself. But you know the saying, practice makes perfect. You have to practice writing keyword-driven content that doesn't come across as spammy or forced. Get in the habit of trying to write natural and free-flowing prose that goes after your keyword. We'll get into this in the coming chapters and discuss some of the practices involved with it. For the time being, keep in mind that you'll be crafting a hefty load of keyword-driven content, so start practicing to perfect your writing skills. Step 5. Engage in real conversations. Beyond the numbers, page rank and authority occurs one small step at a time on the people level. Yes, it's important to create high-value content on your domain and on authority sites. Share that content and work with other authorities in your niche to increase your presence. But it doesn't end there. Authority is something that extends beyond all of this and occurs on the micro level. It happens when you engage in real conversations with people that interact with you on a daily basis. This occurs through blog commenting and social media commenting. When someone posts a comment to a blog that you wrote, you wouldn't just ignore them, would you? Well, you would be surprised at just how many people do in fact ignore blog comments. They don't engage in real and meaningful conversations. Think about it this way. Would you walk up to someone and start a conversation, then walk away before they answered? Of course you wouldn't. So why do that in the virtual world? This occurs most often on social media sites like Facebook and Google+. Often, people start conversations on their Facebook pages by posting something of relevance to their fans and followers. But then, they walk away. You have to stick around for a little while to engage your fans and followers and have a real conversation with them. These are the nuances of building a business in the virtual world, but also the nuances of SEO because they help to build your authority over time. With each conversation, you make a lasting impression as long as that conversation is meaningful. If you engage in conversations from a perspective of adding value, then you can't fail. Regardless of what the conversation sounds like, if it's sincere, meaningful, and it adds value to people's lives, then it's always a winning scenario. So how does this work, really? Well, it's as simple as it sounds. All you have to do is engage in meaningful conversations when it comes to your content. Blog comments, Facebook posts, Twitter posts, and anything else done socially must be followed up with conversations. But it doesn't just end there. To engage in meaningful conversations, you also have to comment on others' posts who are in your niche. Yes, I know that it sounds like a lot of work, and it is. But if you set aside a little bit of time each day, say 30 minutes, you can spend that time engaging in conversations. People who want to achieve success in SEO often overlook these small steps. It just doesn't happen overnight. No matter what anyone else has told you or what you've read, success in SEO takes time. It takes years to build up a solid reputation and have Google trust you. But in the meantime, when you can engage in conversations that are meaningful, People will read through those, and you'll catch the attention of others. By commenting on others' posts in your niche or industry, little by little, you'll build some traction. So get out there and do your best to find a handful of Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, and blogs that you can continuously engage in conversations on. Ensure that they're popular enough so that others will see your posts. If your conversations are adding value to the big picture, you'll be surprised by the results you'll produce. Take the time to do this, and you'll build authority slowly over time by piquing the interest of others out there who might not have found out about you. Since the beginning is such a steep and steady climb up that mountain called Google, you'll have to source other avenues. Think about Google like an Ivy League college. Schools like Harvard, Yale, and Princeton are hard to get into for a reason. Similarly, cracking Google's top search results have become increasingly hard. So you'll want to have every credential that you can to your advantage. And Google is now taking a hard look at social media activity. Popularity in the social world leads to popularity in Google's world.